Hello, my Teaserking family. Just wanted to catch everybody up on what the hell's going on. Um, I want to read you a few quotes from my friends in Russia and the Ukraine. So here's the quote. All right, here's the quote from my friend in the Ukraine or in Russia. Ask her what's going on. And here's her answer. So this is what we are told that Ukraine is lying, that Russia wants to attack it, that Russia is not going to attack the Ukraine. So this is what Russia is telling their people. What are the Ukrainians hearing? War, my God. If you can send me money, I need cash. ATMs are all empty. Collect everything. Need in suitcases, documents, and money and medicine. It's crazy. She went to work. I'm back from work. All kids are at home. School is closed. In pharmacy, crazy people. In store also, panic. Do you have food? Not much. Need to go to bank, have money after in store and pharmacy. Let's see. My God, Ukraine burning. I have limit on my ATM, 3,000 hryvnia in a day. A hryvnia is about 29 to 1. It's roughly $100 a day. This is what's happening in Russia and in the Ukraine and what they're being told. Why do I tell you this? Well, so you get the real information, not from a news thing, but from your Teaserking. So this is what's happening. Just a second, let me turn this light on. So this is what's happening. So I wake up this morning, and what's going on? Gold's up $51 to $19.75. Silver's up $1. I'm going, oh shit, I wanted to buy more. Looks like I'll have to spend more money on it, but I'm still going to buy it because that's what you do. Regardless if there was a war on, you're buying it because it's protection. All you want to do is buy more ounces. So, with that said, excuse me, cut myself shaving. So I'm watching it, and it starts going down. So I bought some Newmont mining today at 68.5 because I'm figuring I saw it at 70 over in the middle of the night. Then it starts going down. It opens at 68 and change. I'm like, what the hell? But gold's up $40, $50. I know it's going to go up. Goes up a little bit, gets up to 69 and change. But then I see it now. I see gold dropping. So I sell it at 69 and change. Make a little bit of money, not much. Again, 1,000 shares. I think I made $500, $600 on it. I wasn't going to sell it, but as I see gold dropping, I get out of it. The way to play these gold stocks, so you watch gold. Even though it's fixed and it's COMEX, you watch gold. That's what you do. So as gold is at 1975, I want to buy. As gold drops down to 1900, I'm out of it because the stocks, for some reason, are going to follow COMEX, even though there's a freaking war going on and gold should be going to $5,000. And what I've been noticing, and I told one of my customers, I'm saying to him, I go, Nick, here it goes. He goes, why? And I go, because they're not pulling back. Gold had steadily gone up, probably due to the war, every day. It hadn't had that big pullback. And I said, well, normally it pulls back. It's not pulling back. It's going to keep going. Now there's a war. Look out. And it goes to 1970. And then it drops. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is it dropping? So let's see where it's at right now. And I really don't. Obviously, it's price fixed, and this is why it's not at $20,000 because of the price fixing. So I'm watching it and watching it, and let's see, gold price. It's at right now. It is back up to 1914, up $5 for today. So it went down. It closed at 1896, but it keeps going, and it goes international. So what you'll see is when the internationals have it, and then about 9:30 when the U.S. gets it, all the shorts come in, and it drops it. So it went from 1970. Here we'll look at the trend for the day. This happens every day. So it's at 1973 at 6 a.m. U.S. time, but in Europe it's different. Obviously, it's like noon there. And then about 9 o'clock, it's at 1971. And by 10 o'clock, it's down to 1913. It goes down $60 at 10 o'clock for no reason. Then it goes down to 1883 at 2 o'clock. So it's sitting at 1928 at noon, and then at 2 o'clock it goes down to 1883, and now it's jumping back up to 1913. So why? Because it's fucking price fixed. However, you can see what happens. So this is the key. At 9:30, 10 o'clock, you let it drop, and then you buy as it starts checking up. All the gold stocks do exactly the same thing. If you looked at Newmont Mining and you looked at all the gold stocks and you look at gold, COMEX, 9:30 to 10, it's this. So why? Well, it's price fixed again. So the Russians and Chinese and people want to buy it cheap. That's what's happening. Who in the hell is selling gold? Gold just goes to 1970. Who's profit taking? Why would you profit take it? You got a war going on, heavy inflation and everything else. Why would you be selling it? So nobody's selling it. It's not real. So again, you have a war going on. Now, what is the real reason of the war? Is the Russians want the natural gas pipeline that goes through the Ukraine to Germany and Western Europe. And they paid $2 billion for it. So the Ukraine will let it go through. They're tired of paying. So they say, we'll take it over, and then we save $2 billion. That's why there's a war. Period. That's it. Yeah, the Russians, you think they care if they get their satellites back, Belarus and the Ukraine? Hell no. I mean, that's not the point of this. The point of this is it's always about money. Every war in the history of life is about money. And this is about the natural gas pipeline, which the U.S. helped get through. One of Biden's things, he canceled the Pennsylvania one and then allowed Russia to go through Europe. And, great, thanks. So this is all, well, Biden's not running the country, but I think George Soros or one of the Germans or people like that are. Anyway, so what you have is gold did what it should have done, and it finally dropped. Now, I was expecting this drop last week when it was going from 1,800 to 1,900. I'm expecting this $30, $40 drop, which never happened. It finally gets, now there's a war. It goes to 1975. Now you get this big drop down to 1900. Which makes absolutely no sense. I couldn't believe when I saw that gold was down for the day. How does it start up $50, $60 and ends up down? And then I'm looking at the stock market, goes from down 800 to up. Who's buying stocks? You got a war going on. Who's buying stocks? And Bitcoin goes down $3,000 and then goes back up. It's such bullshit. It's not like the market. We talk about the market with Tom Brady, right? And the Tom Brady rookie card's worth $30,000. That's the market. If you just leave it alone, that's what it's at. But they don't leave gold and silver alone. So my recommendation is to buy it and just be patient. It will eventually not get pulled back down. But you can see how it grows. And it was the only thing up at noon. The stocks were down. The Bitcoin was down. Bitcoin's not a hedge against inflation or war. Only gold is, and silver. And silver was up. Now here's the difference. Gold's up $70. Silver was up 75 cents. This is the difference in gold and silver. So yeah, silver's coin and it's money like gold. At the end of the day, gold goes up, $100. Silver will go up $1. Not sure why that is. I don't know that there's so much more silver than gold, but I do know if we look at action, reaction, or supply demand, the demand for gold is higher than the demand for silver. The central banks prefer gold over silver, and that's what they have. And if you don't think so, ask yourself, why does Russia have 3,000 tons of gold and China has the same amount if it wasn't worth anything? So, I'm scared for my friend. She doesn't live in Kiev. She lives up north. Well, if you look at a map in the Ukraine, and Kiev's here and Russia's over here, she lives up 3-4 hours north in the middle of the country. I think she should be okay. I don't think they want to kill everybody, although they are sending missiles to take the government. They are killing people in Kiev. They're missiling. They're using their pilots, their fighter jets. They're using the tanks. Ukraine has stopped a lot of tanks, but their air force is weak. And again, I don't know how long, or they're probably coming to take the city where the pipeline is. That would be my guess. And however the pipeline goes through the Ukraine, that's what Russia wants. Like they took Crimea, which was this warm water seaport that Russia needed, so they can get out to the Black Sea and get out to the Mediterranean and to the Atlantic. They have no access to the Atlantic or the Pacific, and the Black Sea gives them help to get that. That's always been Russia's problem. They're not connected to an ocean, I think, except for the Arctic, which is not feasible for shipping like the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. And that's why like London and England and France and Spain and Amsterdam have always been powers, because they've had this shipping and they've been able to get out into the ocean and trade goods to other countries. And so what you have here is Russia's never been able to. That's why they took Crimea. They took Donetsk, where the coal mining is. So they got the coal, which I guess they needed. I don't know. Russia has a lot of raw material, a lot of diamonds and silver and gold. They're really rich in raw materials. But they are not located where they can get to a warm weather seaport where they can get out to the Pacific and do that. So that's what they did before. I don't know if Turkey's at risk. I don't know if Romania's at risk or Bulgaria. The countries along the Black Sea, they seem to be okay. But I don't know what Putin's doing, if he's doing something like a Hitler where he wants world domination. Really what Hitler did was it was all a gold robbery. He would go in and steal all the gold. That's why Hitler, when he fled to Argentina, he was a multi-millionaire in the 1940s with all the gold he had. That's all he did. He'd go into Poland, steal the gold, go into Czechoslovakia and all the countries, and he basically took the gold. And that was it. That's the left hand was pretending there was a war. The right hand was stealing the gold. And that's what you have now. It's COVID. Oh, let's print money. Oh, it's a war. Oh, let's print money. All these are just illusions, like what the professor would do. He's making, although the professor's a good guy, don't get me wrong. I love the professor. I take after him. But what you have here is this whole thing of cleaning. Oh, there I am. I look much better. So what you have is that um, that's what they're trying to do. So really, this is about gold and the pipeline natural gas. So I'm still very high on gold and silver. I was panicking that I'd have to pay more at 1975, but you can see even with the price fixing, it's still trying to make its way up. It'll probably go up tonight because Europe and Asia are buying it, and then at 9:30, 10 o'clock, it'll come down. So if you go buy, wait till tomorrow afternoon and then go and buy. I'm trying to locate. There is silver. Silver is still a good thing, but you can see what happens. But it will protect you. Now the key is do not leave it in a safety deposit box in a bank. You buy a safe and you put it in your house, or you put it, if you really have a lot, try to find like I guess Brinks is a very good way, or or somebody you trust. Keep it with them in a safe in their basement or something. But basically, you don't want it in a bank because all of a sudden there'll be bank runs. So look what I read to you about my girlfriend in the Ukraine. She can't, first she went, she couldn't get to her ATM. The bank was closed. I sent her a MoneyGram, and then she was able to get $100. I sent her a couple hundred, and she could get 3,000 her now at 29 to 1. So that's like $110. But she can go back tomorrow and get the other 110 that I sent her so she could eat, provided she can get food. Are they going to be able to ship goods and services to the people? Now, I don't know that Russia wants to kill, like in my girlfriend's city, that's their goal. But they're definitely scaring them. Like I said, there was no school, there was no work. How long do you think you're going to last with that? I mean, these people are not wealthy, except for the mafia in those cities. They're not wealthy people. So how long can they go without work? And then how expensive are the goods and services? We've already noticed, like just for like Crest toothpaste has gone up. So this is what's happening in the Ukraine and Russia. Russia's ruble is up to 79 to 1. Putin's just printing the money, destroying the money supply so he can buy more gold. He doesn't care. He's got gold. For him, he just prints more and more. Although you get to a point where you print and it's just toilet paper. That's what's happening here. They keep printing too much and it's going to just be toilet paper. And now, so if you don't believe this happens, this was the whole predicate of me reading those things, is to say this is what's happening, right? You can't go to the bank. Panic at the stores, panic at the pharmacies. Good luck getting food, getting your money out of the ATM. This is the premise of Teaserking, okay? This is what I am trying to tell you to avoid all this crap. This is why you buy gold and silver. You'll be able to get rid of your gold and silver, but you won't be able to get your money out of the bank, out of the ATM. You won't be able to, they'll limit you like them. She can only get $100 out, which is nothing. I mean, so she's got to buy food and eat, very slightly for a while. I don't know how to get her out of the country, if she can just get on a plane and leave, or maybe she can take a train and leave and go to like Amsterdam or Romania or something. I don't know. My friend in Romania, she's scared too. She says, we don't trust Putin. We're afraid. Who knows what he's going to do to us, but he'll probably come after us too. So Romania's afraid. Like, this is not going to stop in the Ukraine. They'll find an excuse to invade Romania for oil or gas or something, right? And that's really the problem with this whole thing. So that's what you have. So I'm telling you real world, not the news where it's slanted. I'm telling you what my friends in these countries are telling me. They're not lying to me, and I'm not lying to you. This is why we need gold and silver. You saw it jumped up $50, $60. I'm figuring here we go. We're going to hit 5,000 because there's nothing to stop it. You got a war going on. And yet JP Morgan still does the shorts to allow people to buy it. So I want to buy it. I hopefully can buy it tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know. I got to call my guy in Michigan and get it. We'll see if he has it, and then he can ship it. And then I guess I'll get it FedExed or something. But this is the problem. So this is why gold and silver are protection. When the banks get screwy and they don't let you in or they limit your ATM, this is why you don't keep money in the bank. You buy a safe or multiple. You have them in very secretive places. You keep money in it. You keep gold, your baseball cards, my Tom Brady cards, my Jerry Rice, they're in the safe with money and gold and silver. It's all there. So basically that's what I'm doing. You're keeping all that safe and quiet and secret. When I buy gold, I give the guy money. He gives me the gold. There's no paperwork. Nobody knows I got it. Now, will they say, hey, we got to take all your gold? Well, they don't know I have it, so they're not going to take mine. Now, the other problem is, are they going to tax me for spending it? This I'm not sure of. It could be, but I don't know, because all the rich guys have gold, aren't going to want it taxed. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I apologize. I say I'm kind of freezing a little bit. Maybe that's just on my end. I'm not sure. But I've noticed the last few times I've been kind of freezing. Please let me know if there's questions or comments. Again, go to a coin store that sells gold and silver. You give them cash. He gives you the gold and silver. No sales tax. If you go there, there's no shipping. You just pick it up and say thank you. And then you find a place, and don't put it in a secure safety deposit box in a bank. Maybe if you're in Las Vegas, if you live there, maybe you can go to a safety deposit box in a casino, and you know somebody and give them $100, and then they allow you to keep the safety deposit box. I don't know. I'd be more, mine's in a safe right now. So that's where you have to have it, but it's your protection. First of all, the money's going to be worthless. Secondly, the banks are going to say, we're going to freeze your account. Thirdly, the banks are going to say, you can't. Let's say you got 20 grand in the bank, stock money. If I keep it in and my stocks go up, am I going to be able to sell it and get my money out? This I'm not sure. I might have to just start taking money now and at least putting it in the safe, and then trying to buy, maybe my money is better off buying more gold and silver than it is in stocks. I see something on Warren Buffett saying, the best place to put your money is in stocks. This guy's a freaking moron. He has money not because he's smart and he's a good investor. He's got money because he's got insurance, which is the biggest scammers on earth. He doesn't know what he's doing. If you listen to him, he's clueless. He's not an economist. He doesn't understand what inflation is. He thinks inflation is a rise in prices. That's not what it is. It's printing the money. The rise in prices happens because you've inflated. You printed 1 million, Michael Jordan Topps cards. Therefore, they're worth $5 because you printed so many of them. So there's no value, which is the perfect example. Please let me know if you have questions or comments. I'm happy. That's why I'm here. So what do we see happening? Well, let's see how long this war goes. I don't know. Can the Ukraine really defend themselves? Russia's not going to nuke the Ukraine. They need the oil pipeline to go through, so they're not going to damage the pipeline. So basically, they're going to the city where the pipeline's at, and they're going to Kiev where the government's at, and that's what they want control of, so they can do gas pipeline to Western Europe, London, France, Spain, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, anybody that needs natural gas. That's the whole point of this. Remember, wars are always about money. It's about gold. It's about oil. It's over here natural gas. So they don't have to pay $2 billion because Putin's printing the money that it's becoming worthless. So instead of paying $2 billion in worthless dollars, he says, "Screw it! I'll just take the city over, and I will. I can save $2 billion. It's worth $2 billion to him to take the city over." Ukraine's fighting because they don't want to lose the $2 billion. It's a big thing for them. Gold and silver as you can. Bitcoin went down and buy gold and silver. Gold and silver will keep the value always. Even if it gets pushed down a little, it's still popping up. It's still 1913 now, as I said. Even though it was 1970, JP Morgan, it still managed to come back up. So once that gets done and really starts moving, just say goodbye. So this is like second chance and go and buy it. And even if you don't have an ounce, you don't have 2,000 for an ounce, buy a half an ounce, buy a quarter of an ounce. Half an ounce is $1,000, a quarter ounce is 500. Just buy it. That's what you need to do. Just go buy something, buy gold. It'll go up 20, 30, 40 times in value. So if you buy a quarter ounce, $500, it'll be worth $3,000, $4,000 in a year, maybe. I don't know. I can't really put a timestamp on it, but I would say very soon, with all the shit happening, it's not going to be long until people start realizing I got to get my money out of the bank and I got to buy gold and silver. And then once the shit hits the fan, which is hitting, you can see it was up $50, $60 today. That's going to be nothing. It'll go up $50, $60 every day till it finally hits 10 grand, and then it'll get too expensive for people to buy it like this. But at this point, half ounce, that's why you buy the silver. It's a little more affordable. But again, you can see what happens when the silver goes up $1, gold goes up 50. So you can see that. That's why you want more gold if you can get it, even if it's quarter or half ounces. Ounces are better, but either way. Bricks are better. Who can afford a brick? So that's what's happening. It's going to go up. It cannot go down. It's all price fixed, though. And then, so the question is, how long is the price fixed? Well, it just can't keep going on. They can do it, but eventually it's just going to get bought up and eaten up and just get to 2,000. It was price fixed at 1,600. Now it's at 1,900. Soon it'll be 2,200. Soon it'll be 25. Like, you can't keep price fixing it down. There's too many buyers. Too many people understand the importance of it. So again, buy it, and you buy a safe, and you figure out the best place to put the safe. Even if it's in the storage, you buy a storage thing on like Storage Wars, and you put the safe in there and you lock it up. If you got to do that, something. Brinks, I hear one guy's got it in a Brinks holding, which is out of the banking system. You don't want it anything to do with the government or the bank, because you'll have a safety deposit box in the bank. They'll say, sorry, you can't get in. We closed. They close the bank, and they'll steal all the assets. So you can't trust the government or the bank in this situation. Bitcoin, I don't know. I mean, it didn't go through the roof like gold did. And it's not a hedge to inflation. It's not anything. It's a pyramid scheme. I'm telling you this. Sell your Bitcoin, buy gold and silver is the only way out of this mess. If you're in it and you've made profit, very good. I'm very happy for you. You can make money playing roulette also. You can make money playing blackjack and craps. How long you're going to make money doing it, I don't know, but you can. But you got to cash in your money. You're playing craps, you get hot. 20 passes in a row and you made $500,000. You're going to keep playing and you're going to keep making 500. You don't think you're going to lose. What do? You take your profit and so take your profit in Bitcoin and go into gold. Just as if you got hot at the blackjack or craps or roulette. Do the same thing. Take your profit and say, thank you very much. I made my profit. That's what you have to do. So gold and silver will continue to go up. Nothing's going to stop them. Russia, what are they going to do? I don't know how long they're going to have this war with the Ukraine. It's about the pipeline. Ukraine doesn't want to give it up. How long can they resist? This is the problem. I don't know, but all I can tell you is keep buying gold and silver because this isn't done. You got China with the housing problem. Now you got Russia with natural gas with the Ukraine. You got inflation all over the world with low interest rates that they can't raise the rates because it's going to create this huge debt. You got stock market going to crash, housing market going to crash. You have very limited options. Yes, Tom Brady cards, Michael Jordan cards. It's funny. I'm looking at Michael Jordan card. I'm looking on eBay, and I see this card that all of a sudden is worth $400-500. It's a Harold Miner card with Michael Jordan in it. It's a Harold Miner rookie card. I think it's Flair Ultra, and it's worth $500. It's like the other card. There's another card with Jordan in it, Mark Jackson, I think, and Jordan's in the card. His card's worth $300 because Jordan. So anything that Jordan's in goes to $200, $300, $400. There's one he's got a baseball bat because he had to play baseball because he got caught fixing the games and he had to get out of basketball. That's why he was out for 3 years. It was all for gambling, and he's got a baseball bat, and even that one's worth like $1,000. It's like, you got to be kidding me. So just keep an eye on that. But that's an asset. I would recommend getting Jordan. Anything Jordan seems to be worth something. I'm keeping an eye on it. All the Marvel cards that I got, the Spider-Mans and all that, are holding their value nicely. I saw one that was like $1,500. Captain America, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America. They're all $500, $600, $700 for the 1990 Marvel. I don't know what Stan Lee, he was at 2,000. He's probably at 1,000 for Stan freaking Lee. So again, just buy assets, buy as much gold as you can, and then your pocket change, you buy your silver, and then if you want to buy a Jordan card. Our friend keeps wanting to buy Joe Burrow, good time, and he hasn't really done anything. He didn't win the Super Bowl, so therefore you're better off getting Mahomes cards than you are that, or go buy Brady or Jordan cards. Why do you want to buy Joe Burrow cards now? And if you do, buy them cheap. So I'm trying to help him because the Burrow card will be there, and he hasn't done anything. Yes, he's a very good player, and I love him. But, okay, Montana, he got to the Super Bowl. He won 4 of them. His cards, even his second-year cards, starting to get big. He's got an 86 card, 1986 that's starting to get big. So all his like 80 cards, 83, 85 are starting to get big. And that's my point. So you're better off getting an 82 Jordan Montana. It's not his rookie card. I got 2 of them at a trade show, perfect PSA 10s, and I think I spent $3 on them now back in the day, and now they're worth almost $1,000 each. As PSA 10's worth, who I hate, and Montana and Peyton, and it's not hard to get 10s in that, and the 10s are starting to get value, sort of like the 87 Flares. The 86 Flare Jordan we know is worth $1 million. But the 87 Jordan, his second year, you get a 10 in that, it's up to like 40 grand now. So anyway, anything is a hedge. It'll all be good when the dollar goes to shit. If these wars happen, the inflation, real assets are your key. Gold, baseball cards, but not Bitcoin. It's not an asset. It's not currency. You can't go to Target with it and say, I want to buy groceries. What would you do now if you're in the Ukraine and you got a Bitcoin? It's worth 40 grand and you need to eat. What are you going to do? You're not using your Bitcoin. Now I'll give you a quick story. You people who doubt me with gold. So everybody watched the movie Are We There Yet with Ice Cube. And what happens? He gets flat tires and he doesn't have any money to pay for it. So what does he do? He takes out a Yao Ming rookie card, refractor. It's probably worth $1,000. He usually says, here, will you take this for my 4 tires? And of course the guy says yes. Well, that's what the same thing. If you would have pulled out an ounce of gold and said, will you take this for my tires? The guy would have said yes. He obviously took the Yao Ming card for payment, would have taken gold for payment. How would you pay the guy Bitcoin? There is no such thing. There's no coin. That's my point. I could take out gold and pretty much go buy something and go to the guy. Well, I have this quarter, I buy $100 thing at the grocery store. Well, maybe not at the grocery store, but maybe at the grocery store. And he said, well, I guess it's quarter ounce of gold. Do you think the guy would take it? In a heartbeat. You went to the manager and say, I'm going to buy a couple $100 worth of groceries. I have this quarter ounce of gold that's worth $500. You think he's going to take it? Absolutely. He's not stupid. He'll take the Yao Ming card. He's going to take the gold or the silver or whatever you have because he has the coin. What are you going to do with the Bitcoin? There is no coin. If Bitcoin had at least a coin, what are you going to do? How are you going to give him the Bitcoin? They're not set up to transfer the Bitcoin unless he has a Bitcoin account and you actually say, okay, I'm going to send you what, 1/120th of a Bitcoin that's worth a couple $100. Otherwise, what are you going to do with it? You're not going to do, how do you pay for something with Bitcoin? You can't. It's not currency. Currency means I go in and I pay for something. I go to the restaurant, I go to the grocery store, I go to the gas station, I make my car payment. You can't do that with Bitcoin. It's not currency. It's certainly not gold, and there certainly is nothing to hold, and that's the problem I have. So if you've made money on it, just think of it like you played craps and made $100,000. If you've done that, are you going to keep playing craps, or you cash it in and then you go and you buy something? Hey, Nick, how are you? Just joining. We'll rewatch for later. Card show in my area, March 6th. Looking forward to it. I was just talking about the 82 tops, Montana and Walter Payton, and there's Ronnie Lott rookie and a Lawrence Taylor rookie in that. And they're pretty easy to get. Patients are like, oh, Ukraine wants to fight us. And the Ukrainians are like, oh my God, we're at war. Things are blowing up. We can't get our money out of the ATMs. There's a mad panic in the streets for groceries and pharmacy and everything else. So that's in the beginning of it. But what I'm talking about is gold and silver will continue to go through the roof. It was up $50, as I told you, and then the price fixing came in from JP Morgan right on schedule at 9:30. It dropped $50, $60. I had bought this stock, and the reason I sold it because I saw gold dropping. So when gold went from $30 plus 30 to plus 20 to plus 10, I sold the stock. The stock was at 69. I made a little bit on it and I sold it, and I see it closed at like 66 and change because for some reason the stocks follow the fixed COMEX. So keep in mind it's fixed, but keep in mind, keep buying it. The gold and the silver. In your situation, Nick, I would buy like the quarter ounce and the half ounce. The ounce is 2,000, but you can get the quarter ounce for 500 and a half ounce for 1,000. I would recommend buying some of those if you can't buy the ounces, as opposed to and including to the silver. And then you want to get a safe and you want to lock it up safely, not in the bank. Do not get a safety deposit box. Do not leave money in. Because in both Canada and the Ukraine, they are freezing accounts. They're limiting. My girlfriend can only get $100 out of her ATM in the Ukraine. It's 3,000 hryvnia, and hryvnia's 29 to 1. So 100 hryvnia is $2,900. So basically, she can get $105 out of her ATM in a day. I sent her a few hundred, so she picked it up. It's probably sitting in her account, but she could only get 100 today. She'll get 100 tomorrow. But that's coming. It's in Canada, and be careful with your ATM and keep as much in your safe as you can be comfortable. So what I do is I leave a couple grand in the bank to pay my bills, utilities, food, gas. I got a few, maybe 1,500, 2,000. The rest goes into the safe, and then when I get enough, I buy gold and silver, which I'm trying to do here. I'll try to do that tomorrow or this weekend, and that's what you need to do. But just keep your money in your safe and keep your safe. All the Brady rookies and the Rice rookie and the Montana rookie, they're all in the safe, fireproof, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm protected. You got to get it out of the government and the banking system, because they'll freeze it, they'll freeze your accounts, they'll limit the ATMs, and that's not what you want. So you've got to avoid that. But you can see, it's not my opinion. This is what's happening in Canada, and this is what's happening in the Ukraine. So this is what's happening. It is what it is. So be very careful with that. Any questions or comments, Nick? As long as I got you here. This is my coin guy in Detroit, so I'm going to call him and have him some more gold and silver. He does deliver, so I'll probably be calling him tomorrow. And I got stuck at work today. I couldn't really make the phone call, but I will do it tomorrow. But buy as much as you can. And like I say, if you need to buy quarters and halves as opposed to ounces, do that. But just, say a couple thousand in gold, and then, another 1,000 you get 35, 40 ounces of silver, and that's it. Nick, if you can get silver still at 27, 28, buy as much as you can. I think it's about 32, 33. It's usually 7 or 8 over. I have to see what my store is selling it, but I'm going to have to use credit card. I'm going to have to pay for shipping. So unless I drive back to Detroit, which I'm thinking of doing, taking a long weekend and then buying it on Sunday. Good luck at your card show. Again, sharp corners, sharp centering, and you know what cards to go after. Your 60s baseball, your Mays, your Aaron, your Brady cards, your Jordan cards, your Kobe Bryant cards that are not rated, but you can tell they're 10s because they're centered and sharp corner and a nice picture. And always take them to the light. So look at the light and you can see scratches, right? So you look at it in the light, you go, there's usually have these lights at the card shows. So you can hold the card up and see, there's a big scratch in it, and you don't buy it. So food for thought, but see what's there. Let me know how you do. I'm interested. Good luck at it. And it's a good thing to do, but still try to buy a little bit of gold, even if you have to buy quarters, and you might be able to buy them at the card show. If you can, I would highly recommend buying it at a place where you just give them cash. They give it to you, they throw it in your pocket. There's no tax. There's never tax. There's no shipping to worry about. And at a card show, you might get a good value. So try to do that. You'll see the Highland Mint coins there. Now they're in the 90s. I got quite a few of those, and they're all, even though an ounce of silver is like $30, the Jordan, the Emmitt Smith, the Barry Smith, they're all worth like 50. So, or more. I think there's a Kobe and a Jordan, and then the two tones and stuff like that. So they're worth more than the 20. So if you can get those cheaper. But good luck at the show. I love the card shows. But I think my money right now would be going into gold and silver, especially with this war going on. Look for inflation to really jump, because if Putin is sitting there holding the oil and natural gas, oil prices go up, which makes all the stuff they ship go up. So now the guy everything relies on these truckers, costs more because the gas costs more. So the cost costs more. And so they got to mark it up because they need to make money. That's the law of economics. If it costs me 10, I got to sell it for 11 or 15. But the idea is, if it costs me 10, I'm not selling it for 8. I'm selling it for 12. So now if my cost is 12, I got to sell it for 14. So that's the nature of markets and economics. And this whole thing is just bullshit. This whole war is bullshit about natural gas and the oil. that Russia wants the prices to go up. That's what this whole thing's about. That's what it's always about. It's always like when we went into Kuwait, it was about oil. The Nazis were about gold. 9/11 was about gold. Everything is about financials. So keep that in mind. Anyway, please be. I got friends in Romania, and the Romanian people are scared that it's coming. The Ukraine people are losing their minds, and the Russian people they're fine. They're not going to be invaded, but with the heavy inflation to pay for it, they're screwed too, because now their ruble 79, so they make their money, and now how do they eat? So they need their money. They're losing currency value too, the heavy inflation. So that whole side of the world's all screwed up with heavy inflation, especially Russia. Russia's the worst. Their dollar's 79 to 1. The Ukrainian went from 27 to 29, and Romanian's still at about 8. That's not too bad, but just you got to be careful. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and just tell you what's going on. From what I can tell, gold and silver will go through the roof. They will still go through the roof. And Nick, by the way, I use there's like a gold site. Just Google gold prices, and I think it's like goldprice.com, and it's just active all the time because the rest of the world's buying gold at 2 a.m. That's when I said to you yesterday it was up 41, then it went up 51 until the U.S. got involved at 9:30 in the morning here, and then it drove it all the way down. So when you're buying stock, be careful of that. You want to buy after 10:30 when it's dropped and now it's starting to go up. That's when you want to buy it. But if you see it drop, if you buy a gold stock and you see the price dropping, get the hell out, and it'll drop. And then, okay, now it's settled. Now it's going to start going up. Then you buy it. So you watch COMEX, and I don't know why it's so linked to it, but it is. And that's what you got to look at. So anyway, I'm holding my breath for my girlfriend in the Ukraine. I hope she's okay. And she's scared as shit. And I'm really worried that she'll have enough food. She's not really prepared for it. So I don't know. I can give her money, but she can only get $100. And what's it going to buy? And is there going to be food available? Because are the trucks shipping the food to her? The Russians are bombing the cities. These guys, I don't know if they're going to truck food up to where she is, or they're going to say, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I'd prefer she got to Poland or Czechoslovakia or somewhere safe. But again, this isn't the Russians. This is the Russians with their natural gas pipeline and getting the price of oil up. This is what this is about. So I don't think it's a big threat to the rest of Europe, or this isn't a Hitler taking over Europe. I don't know, but because the U.S. is so weak, he knows I can just go in. Nobody's going to stop me. They're going to put sanctions down, but who cares? I got 3,000 tons of gold. I'm fine with the sanction. The country's going to get screwed, but he's fine with the sanction. So anyway, that's what's going on. I just want to let you know. Buy as much gold and silver as you can. And you can see it's going up. It's going up. It's going to keep going up. Nothing's going to stop it. They are not raising interest rates, the U.S. They cannot. They will not. They're not going to. It's impossible because it'll kill the housing market, which is getting killed anyway, but it's going to cause massive, you're going to kill the economy, which is already dead with the inflation, but you can't stop the inflation. They will not raise interest rates, maybe a quarter, and they'll say, look at us, but 9 times? No, they're not raising interest rates 9 times. They can't. All they can do is keep inflating, and then they'll blame the Ukraine and Russia for the inflation in America. How they printed U.S. dollars is beyond me, but this is why I tell you what inflation is. It's printing the dollars. It's Topps baseball cards. You printed 1 million of them. The Barry Sanders is worth $2. That's what you're doing with this. You're printing. Inflation is. It's you printing the dollars. You hear all this other bullshit. It's not real. It's got nothing to do with the Ukraine and Russia. It's got nothing to do with the pipeline or whatever else they want to say. You printed the money is the only way to have inflation. And I'm going to show you, as the professor would show you, that's what it is. That's what's going to cause the economic chaos. And that's it. So the only way to protect yourself is gold and silver. Keep it out of the banks. Keep your money out so you don't need to rely on ATMs, just a little bit for your bills. Otherwise, put it in a safe with your Tom Brady rookie cards and your gold and your silver. Just protect yourself. Get out of the banking industry and the government. Just stay out of it, because they'll freeze you like they're doing in Canada and in the Ukraine. And just please be careful. I'm begging you. You know me. You know I am very honest with you. I tell you how I pick my games and why. And you can see the results, and you can tell, I don't make anything by telling you this. I'm only trying to protect you. So please understand that. All right, I will do some football analysis over the weekend, probably Sunday. Just what do I look for? How do I pick the games? What are we going to look for? And I'll walk you through next year, right? So this year we found Georgia under, we found Baylor, we found Cincinnati, Bengals. We found certain teams. In pro was a little bit hard to find. College, we found a lot of good teams. So Georgia under, for example. So what's going to be Georgia under next year? Maybe it's Georgia again. Maybe it's maybe Tennessee has this great defense. This we don't know, but this is what we look for. So I will walk you through how to look, because every year the teams change. So it's not like, we're going to bet Georgia under every game next year. We might, but we've got to see what's there. That's why I tell you, wait a few weeks. Let me see what's going on, because it changes every year. But I know what to look for to pick it out. But I need a few weeks. But I can still go with the Georgia and the Alabamas early on, and then get to the Baylors and the teams that I all of a sudden see, they got a great running back and a great quarterback, and they got a pretty good defense, aka Baylor. I'm going to play them, or Oklahoma State, great defense. So these teams with the great defenses, but they have a good running attack and a balanced offense. So that's what I look for. All right, everybody. I will see you on Sunday. Good luck. Please, if you know anybody in the Ukraine, my heart's kind of sad right now, but I hope everybody makes through okay and they get to safety. And, this is what you get when you get a Putin and you don't see. This is why you need force. If Trump's in office, as much as Russia do this, well, there's Biden. Biden doesn't know what day it is. He's not stopping anything. Putin's not scared of Biden. And Biden's probably getting kickbacks on, okay, we'll let you go, and we want 20% of the pipeline. And that's probably what he's getting paid off to let Putin do this. Problem is, he won't be able to control Putin like he thinks he can. All right, everybody, have a great day. Please be safe. If you know anybody, please help them if you can. MoneyGram works in the Ukraine, and they are limited to getting it out, but they can get it. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you very much. Buy your gold, buy your silver, buy a safe. Keep it out of the banks. Do not leave money in the banks, please. Get it out, leave a little bit, and get it into a safe. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Be good.